As you can see, Bezos has successfully sold twice before the stock market collapse. The first time by almost 6% and the second by as much as 35%. It takes one match, one massive bankruptcy for that bubble not just to burst, but literally explode. Insider trading does exist, and I'm pretty sure that Jeff Bezos has quite a few friends in high places among senators. Welcome to the Coin Post. I knew that Jeff Bezos had sold the Amazon stock for $3 billion. But to be honest, I didn't really pay much attention to it. It's his company, his stock, he can do whatever he wants. But then I found out that the subject is being widely discussed on social media and YouTube, making Jeff the harbinger of the apocalypse. So I decided to look into it, and I found that there was another sale of Amazon shares in August 2019. And it was also just before the big stock market correction. Does it scare you? Take your hand off your trading terminal and give me 10 minutes to explain and process the situation. I'll tell you when Bezos sold the stock, why he's doing it, and give you an example of real insider trading. Join our community, subscribe to the channel please. Let's dive in. I decided to split the Amazon stock sale story into 3 stages. And to begin with, it's essential to know where you got the news from when it comes to money. Can we trust them or not? You know, I don't want to be pointing fingers, but if the subject of the near end is being promoted on channels where there is a video of the global market collapse within 2 weeks, posted 2 months ago, then I'm bound by default not to trust that info. And I see a similar picture with the Amazon stock sale right now. Do you know who's actively promoting it on social media as a signal for market failure in a month? The correct answer is the founder of the hedge fund, Will Made. For the record, hedge funds make money on speculation, and most of them take short positions concerning the stock market. It means they're willing to make a big deal out of the second wave of market collapse, because if there's no, they're gonna go bankrupt, and this is quite a real threat. This is exactly what happened to the billionaire Ray Dalio's foundation after they bet on a crisis that never happened. He always recalls this story when telling how he managed to rebuild his company. We have a video on the channel about this. You can find the link to it in the description box. Why am I saying that the panic was caused intentionally? Because this event was reported like this. Look, no one knows why he sold billions of dollars worth of Amazon stock, but the last time there was a crash, which means the markets are about to collapse. And then I just scrolled down the feed under this tweet and I found an explanation. Bezos sells shares every 6 months to finance his space program. Well, yes, he might be jealous of our friend Elon Musk. And then I decided to watch the news, and what a miracle! I found the following information there. I quote, in 2017, Bezos announced that he would sell Amazon stock for $1 billion annually to fund his space program, Blue Origin. In September 2018, the billionaire pledged $2 billion to the Bezos Day One Fund, which supports nonprofit organizations that assist homeless families, and also established the Montessori National Preschool Network. Since then, Bezos had distributed about $200 million to nonprofit organizations. Besides, in February 2020, a billionaire announced that he would launch the Bezos Earth Fund, which would focus on climate change. He promised to allocate $10 billion for this purpose. Now, I have a question to all those who are spreading the Bezos issue under the slogan of a mysterious, unknown sale. Why would you do something like that? The answers might be because we never check the information, because we can't use Google, or we can't read at all. And the third option is that we deliberately spread panic to exploit the situation for our own purpose. Share in the comments what you think they're doing, and I'm moving on to the Jeff Bezos stock sales review. In the previous part I mentioned that Amazon stock sales are not secret at all, and given Bezos' commitment, he really needs a pretty significant amount of a few $1 billion. For those of you who don't know, the wealthiest people in the world are assessed not by the size of their bank account or the amount of dollars and gold bars under the pillow, but by their assets. So Jeff doesn't have the $192 billion that he's credited with, but he owns assets of this amount. And most of them are Amazon shares. And if he wants to give money to another project or charity, he has to sell some of his stock. If we examine the sales history, Bezos entered the market just before the severe corrections in August 2019, and the second was in February 2020. The third was only a few days ago. Let's mark those on the S&P index chart and see what happens next. As you can see, Bezos has successfully sold twice before the stock market collapse. The first time by almost 6% and the second by as much as 35%. And if the conspiracy theory that this is a secret signal is accurate, we should see the beginning of a new collapse in about a week or two maximum. But wait, which assets did Jeff Bezos sell? Did he sell the S&P 500 or Amazon stock? Let's look at the sold stock charts and also mark the points of sale. If these sales were not what Bezos said, I mean making regular donations to other projects, then he was a total loser, because Amazon stock has grown by 80% since its first sale. And even for the richest man in the world, it's real good money. And he wouldn't throw it away just to remind someone there of a new stock sale. If you look at the US stock market as a whole, it seems like a huge bubble. You can tell by the current value of Amazon shares. It takes one match, one massive bankruptcy for that bubble not just to burst, but literally explode. If you need some conspiracy theories for analyzing markets and searching for black swans like this, you're free to use them, it's voluntary. But you shouldn't blindly trust what you're being told. You should always check the information and dig for the answers. Next, I'm gonna give you an example of real insider trading. But first, I'm gonna ask you, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, do this right now and don't forget to turn on the notifications. Your support is the best motivation to create new content. To understand how insiders work, I'll give you a real example of Miss Kelly Lynn Loeffler, the wife of New York Stock Exchange owner Jeffrey Sprecher, the head of the first United States licensed BUCK trading platform for Bitcoin futures, and the Georgia senator. She sold most of the shares quite successfully right before the market fell in February. And as Kelly claims, she knew nothing. Apparently, her assets were managed by special people, and she got informed of these transactions with a huge delay. Meanwhile, Kelly Loeffler attended a private meeting of the Senate Health Committee, thus possessing full information about the upcoming quarantine, and she kinda knew how it was gonna affect the US economy and the stock market. Then she asked to leave her alone. I sold all the assets together with my husband, and the whole thing was hushed up. This example tells me that insider trading does exist, and I'm pretty sure that Jeff Bezos has quite a few friends in high places among senators, giving him access to classified information. But finding some secret meaning in his actions is extremely difficult. It's like when I made a joke about Buffett's secret deal when he bought shares in the Bank of America. And like with the airline story, he had to put out all his bank shares on the market. But instead, Buffett bought even more, because they are on entirely different levels, and we can speculate from the events of the past because it's happened before. But in fact, it's nothing more than our assumptions, which have 50-50 odds, meaning it might happen or might not. Share this video with everyone who's waiting for the market collapse due to the actions of Jeff Bezos. And don't forget to write in the comments what you think of this situation. That's it for today. Thanks for watching. It's the Coin Post channel. Subscribe and get enlightened.